Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Israel of God, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow by O. Palmer Robertson, narrated by Tom Parks. Introduction. If you abandon Israel, God will never forgive you. It is God's will that Israel, the biblical home of the people of Israel, continue forever and ever. So spoke the President of the United States in a speech delivered before the Israeli Knesset assembled in Jerusalem. He was recalling, with apparent approval, the words of his desperately ill pastor. He concluded the speech by saying, "Your journey is our journey, and America will stand with you now and always." In this historic statement, the President made some striking assertions. First of all, he expressed the view that an abandonment of the people of Israel by the United States would be an unforgivable sin. Second, he asserted that the land of the Bible, according to the will of God, should continue as the possession of the nation of Israel forever. Third, he committed the United States to support the nation of Israel without qualification forever. As in the case of most speeches made by government officials, some allowance must be made for overstatement for the sake of political expediency. Yet at the heart of these assertions are some strong commitments, on the basis of supposedly Christian principles derived from the pastor of a Christian church. Far-reaching political commitments have been made publicly with respect to the people of Israel and the land of the Bible. By these commitments, the course of nations has been set, for good or for ill. Because of the biblical and theological influences at the root of these significant public policies affecting the world today, it is important to look once more at the question of the Israel of God, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This study will consider the Israel of God in terms of its land, its people, its worship, its lifestyle, and its future. Chapter 1. The Israel of God, its land. It has been rightly observed that the idea of the land as a theological concept has been largely overlooked by both Judaism and Christianity. Except for eschatological speculations concerning the return of Israel to the land, the whole concept of the land as presented in Scripture has been generally neglected. The reasons for this neglect might be variously evaluated, but unquestionably, the significance of the land as a theological idea needs fuller exploration. The concept of a land that belongs to God's people originated in paradise. This simple fact, so often overlooked, plays a critical role in evaluating the significance of the land throughout redemptive history and in its consummate fulfillment. Land did not begin to be theologically significant with the promise given to Abraham. Instead, the patriarch's hope of possessing a land arose out of the concept of restoration to the original state from which man had fallen. The original idea of land as paradise significantly shaped the expectations associated with redemption. As the place of blessedness arising from unbroken fellowship and communion with God, the land of paradise became the goal toward which redeemed humanity was returning. In speaking of Israel's land under the Old Covenant, it is necessary to think in categories of shadow, type, and prophecy, in contrast to reality, substance, and fulfillment under the New Covenant. These contrasting categories come to expression in various ways in the writings of the New Testament. Throughout Matthew's Gospel, significant events in the life of Jesus are explained as having occurred so that Old Covenant anticipations might be fulfilled. Matthew chapter 2, verses 15, 17, and 23, chapter 13, verses 14 and 35, chapter 26, verses 54 and 56, chapter 27, verse 9. John declares that God now tabernacles with his people in a way that far surpasses his dwelling with Israel in the days of their wilderness wandering. John chapter 1, verse 14. That the angels of God now ascend and descend on the Son of Man rather than on Jacob's visionary ladder. John chapter 1, verse 51. That the lifting up of the Son of God supersedes the lifting up of the serpent in the wilderness. John chapter 3, verse 14. And that the manna from heaven given by Moses has been transformed into living bread given by Christ. John.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?